Hey everybody, welcome to Kimball's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Karate Kid Legends. And I tell you what, I'm on the fence on this one. I am a huge Karate Kid fan. I grew up Ralph Macchio, and I love Cobra Kai. Bringing that back, it just like hits you on both ends. When you watch Karate Kid as a kid, Ralph Macchio, the crane kick, greatest thing ever. Every part of that movie, from Elizabeth Shue all the way to Pat Morita, Ralph Macchio, everybody. And then you get Cobra Kai on the back end. It's like, man, the sun's shining on you. Now you got, and there was other Karate Kids, right? There were sequels and stuff like that. Kind of pulled you in a little bit, but not as much as Cobra Kai, right? Now they come back. They remade Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's kid, right? Jaden Smith, I think that's who it was. It was like a modern era. Like let's bring in the new generation in. I like the effort. Didn't really go crazy over it. Now they've combined them, right? So now we got Legends, which is Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio's in this. Joshua Jackson's in this. I'm a big fan of Joshua Jackson. I like him. Dawson's Creek, but other things, Mighty Ducks and stuff like that. So he's in this as well. Let me read. And prior to today, everything I saw was like in the seven, whatever, IMDb. So I was like, wow, is it really that good? Can it be that good? As I've started it now, the opening scene, spoiler alert, opening scene, Danielson and Mr. Miyagi. I don't know if it's flashback or whatever. I paused it so I can talk to you all. Anyway, after Kung Fu prodigy Li Feng relocates to New York City, he attracts unwanted attention from a local karate champion and embarks on a journey to enter the Ultimate Karate Championship with the help of Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso. I don't know. Whatever. That's what it says. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Let's see if it could stand the test of time. Karate Kid, Cobra Kai series, which I still haven't even finished. I don't want to finish it because I like it so much. All right. Well, let's see what this movie's all about. Hopefully I don't spoil Cobra Kai, but I don't know. All right. That's it. Let's get into it, see what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what to think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey, everybody. We're at the credits of, I almost said Miyagi, though, but Karate Kid Legends. And I tell you what, it's a range of emotions, I guess, in a sense. So came into it thinking, it's part of the, what do they call it? The canon, I guess, the Karate Kid canon. But it really wasn't when you started this movie. It's very similar plot line as Karate Kid, the original one, right? So this family is coming from Beijing into New York, just like Danny went to California, right? There's a bully, there's a girl, there's all that same stuff. There's the end of the year championship, right? They call it the five boroughs in this, so it's all very similar, and it's a good standalone. If you don't want to bring in anything else, it's a good kind of standalone movie that's a lot of fun to watch. It's modernized from when Ralph Macchio made the original Karate Kid, right? And I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like, it has the same qualities that you want. Like I said, it's just a little bit different. They don't spend as much time on the Johnny aspect, on the villain aspect. I think his name was Connor in this. They spend more time on our main actor, who's kind of Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, Joshua Jackson, who happens to own a pizzeria. His daughter, that's the girl he's kind of getting with. I like Joshua Jackson in there. He become friends and are doing things for each other, and it's a very interesting kind of take on what we saw. So right, and I think it danced a fine line between, does it want to be a standalone, or do we want to bring it and loop it back in? And it gets to that, right? So honestly, in the beginning, what's his name was in it? Oh man, I forget. Not Ralph Macchio, but the other one. He was in the beginning from the later. I'm sorry, I forget his name up. Whatever. And I can't look because this stuff is my tablet. Anyway, I have everything on my phone. But anyway, so he's in the beginning, and he's got a nice little cameo there. Jackie Chan. Sorry, Jackie Chan's in the beginning, but he doesn't come back until later in the movie. Ralph Macchio isn't until the third act, if you will. And so, which is fine if, and so it felt like, okay, then it felt like it was just going to be a little bit, a little touch, a little cameo, like, hey, this is it. But no, then they kind of tie it all in. They bring you back to the house and where the wax on, wax off, where Cobra Kai takes place, all that kind of stuff. That's introduced here, so it really makes a connection. But I felt for 45, 50 minutes of it, it's a standalone with hints. But then in the third act, like I said, the last half hour is more, hey, let's bring it all together and connect it. Now, I think they missed opportunities when they did that. There's so many things that, Connor, who's like the enemy, the Johnny in this movie, has a ponytail. I mean, I think there's a joke right there. Not so much that Johnny Lawrence had a ponytail, but Daniel fought people with ponytails. I'd be like, oh, not another guy with a ponytail. I think that's an opportunity for a joke right there. There's also the end, like where he could hit him, and I think that's a nose honk. If you know, if you know, they say. But if you've seen it, that's a great opportunity. Really tie them in and do that. Everything else is good. Like I really enjoyed the film that much, but I felt for a long period, I'm like, okay, this is just a remake, a redo, or whatever, and we're going to splash some people in. But no, then they really tried to tie it together. And then in the final scene, not the dramatic climax where, the fight happens and whatever happens in that one, but it's not a post-credit, but it's right before the credits. That scene is phenomenal. I think it's fantastic. I laughed. I was getting up to turn on the light, I was watching, and that kind of brings it all back in. So end of the story is they do try and tie it all together. It does fit into the canon, I think, in some form or fashion. And watching it, I was like, this doesn't fit it. Like, how's Johnny Lawrence how's Daniel LaRusso going to be in New York, right? He's in California, and but they make it work. So hats off to them. They didn't mess with the timeline or anything like that. It wasn't its own standalone movie, but it could have been. And they tied it together just enough to make it really good and not ruin anything else that they've done before. So as a true Karate Kid fan, practicing that crane kick to my sister all the time, I would recommend it. If you enjoyed everything that you've seen from them so far. Not as good as Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, you can't do that. And I was honestly at the point where I said this about Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun was great. Top Gun Maverick was great, but it's just a redo of Top Gun. You know what I mean? This was very similar because it's just a redo. Hey, we're going to New York instead of California, so on and so forth. So, but I still enjoyed it. I thought they did a good job of tying it together. I think they could have done a little bit better if they called me before they release and say, Jeff, is there anything else you'd add or move? Would have been a big one right then and there. Just tie it all in. That's it. That's all I got. Hopefully I was helpful. Check it out if you're a fan. So thanks for tuning in. Kimmell's Irish Pub.